drop your books so it doesn't affect what it is. Core friends.
The basement.
The basement of the pond. Thank you very much. Don't worry, if you have any question, feel free to ask any question at all. Now, ideally, we are supposed to have what we call the inlet. What do I call it? The what? I-N-L-E-T. Inlet. Now, the inlet is where water flows into the pond. What do I call it? Now, if you notice, around this pond there is no inlet. True or false? Did you notice any inlet there? Yes? No? That's not an inlet. There's no inlet. But there's an improvised way of bringing water into the pond. Remember I told you that what? That this pond is a concrete pond, but not completely concrete. Why? Because the bottom is not what? Cemented, or what we call the core trench. Now, when we go outside this environment, you will notice that there is a dam. Who know what a dam is? Yes? I need a male this time around. The female have been up and doing. Yes? There's someone here. What's the name, please? Sonto. Good. Thank you for overflowing onto the other side. Who else? Your name, please. Kali, good. Good, where water gathered. Now, you all are correct. Yes? You have a different view? Let's hear it.
Hydro energy is converted.
Thank you very much. Now, you are all what? Correct. Now, let me inform you about something. You see, in this pond or in this fish farm, the dam here is not used to conduct hydroelectricity. You get it? It is only used to reserve water. Now, let's go to the back so that I'll explain better what I'm going to say, so that you'll be able to get the pictorial view. Don't worry, if you have a question, we are still coming back here. You can put your question down in case you might forget. So all of you are going to hold a fish, whether you like it or not. Wait. Be careful, girl. Wait, excuse me. Wait.
My pen. You are doing my pen.
In pairs, please. The lights will come back. It should be the last. Damasi, be careful, that place is
Follow their step.
sticky. You don't follow their step. Just watch your step. Not now. Don't have time.
Easy there.
They do. Gladly. Yes. Now, catfish are carnivorous in nature, so they can eat other fishes if they are dead. Yes? It is easy, but you just need to be well informed on the technicality.
You will not listen. If you were listening, you would have
But it's not what? Yes, you can do artificial reproduction for other fishes too. You get it? Well, some of these fish, like catfish, catfish will not reproduce naturally inside the pond, but tilapia will reproduce naturally inside the pond. But catfish, if it's not inside the wild, they don't reproduce naturally. That's why all the fishes here are being exported from the hatchery and being stocked in here. None of them reproduce in here. You get out. Those bones, they are the carcass of the cow meat that they use in feeding these ones. In the wild, in the river and the sea, catfish reproduce during the beginning of rainy season. Naturally. The female lay the egg while the male spread its milk. We call it milk. But in human being, we call it what? Sperm. Hello? Hello? We call it, in fish, we call it milt. M-I-L-T. M-I-L-T, that's the milt. Then the female lay the egg while the male what? Spread its milk on the egg. Now, in the wild, it takes close 10 to 15 days for the egg to hatch. But if you are doing artificial reproduction, depending on the temperature of the water, it can hatch within 24 hours.
Wow.
Am I communicating?
Yes.
So most of the fish you see here, they are artificially reproduced fish. Now let's move up while I explain the rest. Please come. That's the mobile pond, right? No. The mobile pond is over there. Now, this place you are seeing is also a pond. That's the outlet. That's the outlet.
What fish is
Now,
that?
this pond is mostly used to hold fish that are being used for barbecue. Look at the barbecue thing there. So this is where they put them before what? Because they can't go in there to go and bring in them. So they put them here. Then you can also hatch your fish here. But the challenge you have is what? Is temperature. The temperature will be too cold for the fish to hatch very fast. Because the hotter the water, the faster the fishes hatch in artificial reproduction. So this is also a concrete pond, but a tiled concrete pond. Am I communicating? And the base, yes? No, you can't use hot water. No, it's good to ask. When I say the warmer the water, that's why I ask.
Can you keep quiet? Take note of these stones.
Which stones? Yes, and this one.
They have names.
What are they?
Later I'll tell you. They are not white stones.
Limestones.
They are not limestones.
And precious stones.
They are called sedimented rocks. That's an example of a sedimented rock or sedimentary rock.
That's the outlet. This is the mobile pond. Am I communicating? Good. So they can use this place for fish breeding. Yes, but you need to take it into a closed environment, into a building. So let's go down there. Any question?
Single file, please. Move and stop leaning on people's shoulders. Hurry.
What do I call it? K-I-L-L. The L is silent. Smoking king. So when they bring the fish from there, they remove all the viscera. We call all those intestines, we call them viscera. They move it on this table before was coming here for the barbecue. You get that? Well, you don't have time for that. Maybe when next you come for leisure and relaxation, you can do that. You have to pay.
Why is she hiding?
Want to come and relax? You can see this place is a very beautiful environment. It's not your normal. Yes.
Their faces. Scary berries that couldn't even hold a fry.
Emmanuel dropped that fish. Like a whole fish.
That's not yet a fish, that's still a fry.
I can't even touch it.
Imagine, he wants to be smart. That's not. That's sawdust. Before you change the meaning. Come on, don't rest on that.
Somebody is asking if it is a must to put sand inside the. It's not wrong. We call it mobile pond. You don't put sand there. It's not an open pond. You don't put sand there. That's how you do it. Creating food. Not water in there. Then you can train your fish there. Any other questions? Yes? There are different ways of removing fish. There's what we call partial harvesting and total harvesting. Now, if you are doing partial harvesting, you're going to be making use of a net. But if you are doing total harvesting, that means all the water, you can open that outlet, all the water in there to go out. So you can pack the whole fish, both the matured and the matured one. So that's how you do harvesting. But you can systematically harvest them. You want to do very good. If I throw a fish here, and I get a scoop net, that net that you see there is what we call a scoop net. Now, if I throw fish here, once they come out, to feed the fish, I can easily scoop them out. That's what systematically do that. Ask him if there's fish. I will just tell my fish. Wait, let's see if there's fish in the farm. They'll practicalize it. All right, let's continue with the question while you attend to that. Yes? No, I'll go this route. Yes? That's a very nice question. Now, when you change the fish, the water of a fish or a fish pond, it is not ideal that you feed them immediately. Now, the reason is that they've not acclimatized to the water chemistry. Now, the water you are seeing is not just ordinary water. You have what we call the alkalinity, the dissolved oxygen, the salinity, and so on. So they have to get used. That's what we call acclimatized. You have to get used to the water chemistry. You leave them for 2 to 3 hours before feeding them. But if you feed them immediately, some might eat, but... Alright, let's see. You can tell me between... This one is not good. perfect picture of what? An earthen pond. And what? An earthen pond. There's still one other pond inside. When we get inside, I'll show you a mobile pond. There's what we call a mobile pond. And the reason why it is called a mobile pond,
How old are these fish now?
these fishes should be... Anyway, let me explain something before I answer that question. You see,
Quiet.
the growth of a fish is largely depending on the feeding rate and the quality of the feed being fed. Now, there's something that we call crude protein in feed. What do I call it? Crude protein. C-R-U-D-E. Crude protein. Now, I might train my own fish and they will be of this size, but not of the same age. Am I communicating? Yes. Now, if I feed my fish thrice a day, definitely their growth rate will be faster than the person feeding his own fish once a day. But by looking at the size of this fish, they should be close to 4 to 5 months. Am I communicating? Yes. Now, if you look at those ones inside, you notice that they are bigger.
Yes.
Yes. Some of those fishes should be close to around 6, 7, 8 months. Am I communicating? Now, to answer your question, sir, the feeding and the quality of the feed is what determines the growth rate and the size.
To avoid the sac from collapsing into the egg. And the sac is loaded with clay soil.
Clay soil, exactly. So this is loaded with clay soil to what? Yes? He's asking the meaning of overcrowding in fish farming. Now, overcrowding is when, listen, don't worry, if you have a question, just let me know. Overcrowding is when the stocking density is beyond the holding capacity of the pond. Do you get that? Overcrowding is when the stocking density is the total number of fish in the pond. When the stocking density is more than the holding capacity. Now, let me explain something further. If I stock 5,000 fish inside this pond, please listen. If I stock 5,000 fishes inside this pond, and at the end of the day, they are able to grow very well, it means that what I've exceeded the stocking density of the pond. Why? Because at fingerling stage, they will be doing very well. Now, as the fish grow bigger, the space in the pond becomes smaller. Do you get that? Just like putting 5,000 students in a class and putting just 2 students in a class. So as the fish grow bigger, the space becomes smaller because they need a lot of space to grow. Now, there's been record of catfishes being up to 3,000 kg, but not in an eating pond, in a river. As a matter of fact, in Thailand, there was a record of, I think, about 290 something kg. Now let me just give you the statistical view of that. How many of you know the weight of one bag of cement?
I know the answer.
Now, 50 kg is just like having that. How many of you can carry a bag of cement? By yourself to your head. Good. Now, multiply that, then times that into about 5 or 6 of that same weight. That's the weight of the fish. So catfish can grow to as much as 3,000, 4,000 kg. But not in this kind of environment. Am I communicating? Now we have different types of catfish also. Now for the record, we have close to 3,000 species of catfish. You have close to 3,000 species of catfish. You have catfishes that we call electric catfish. Have you heard of it before?
The eel now, the
There's a
eel.
catfish that we call electric catfish. But they are not being trained. You only get that in places like the Nile River. Still remember your nursery rhyme of rivers in Africa, right? Yes. Good. So you get that in the Nile River. Now, the electric nipples of that catfish can light a bulb. You know this is your car bulb.
Can even power a battery.
Power it.
Can power a battery.
Catfish. Then how many of you have watched Transformers? How many of you know Bumblebee? Good, I know you can relate with that. There's a catfish that we call Bumblebee catfish. And it actually has two different colors, black and yellow. They mostly use those kind of fish for aquarium. You know aquarium, right? Good. They use them for aquarium. Am I communicating? Good. So now, if you look at that side, you see the outlets. You see the outlet there? Now, if you notice that the outlet is being what? Screened to prevent the fish from what? Going out. Now, that is what regulates the water level here also. When the water gets to that level, by itself, it flows into the what? Into the outlet. Then it comes out at the other end. Am I communicating? Now, if you notice, there's an inlet here, kind of.
Yes.
Look at it there. Where the what can easily pump water into the pump. But most times, they don't pump water here because the water table here is very, very high. So if you look behind you, you notice that there is water coming out from that ground.
Yes.
The water table here is very, very high. As a matter of fact, I want to dig a well. Let me dig it much. As long as this my hand
Can you stop
can
that?
get water and a very quality one at that. Now if you look behind you, at that side, that's where they pump water from into that pond inside. There's a small dam behind this net. Where they what? They just sprays the water so that it can gather enough to what? To be pumped into that place. Am I communicating? There are fish there. All these ponds, there are fish all around.
If you see food, are you not happy?
Now, now, look at this one and that one. You notice that they are the same thing. Now where you are standing is what we call the guide. Look at that place. That's where the outlet is. Great, but you can see the net at the bottom. That's where it is. I'm very sure it is. Blocks at the other end. Am I coming?
Good morning. Good morning.
Another fact, that escaping is like
Okay.
it's like the new set. So any question, please?
Okay. I'm aware.
Okay, now let me explain that. But you have to listen very attentively. Let me go inside for that.
I'm aware.
Well, let's go inside for that so that because I don't want your shoes to get soaked. I don't want your shoes to get soaked. So let's go inside so that we can see that.
In a single file. Don't push anybody.
Alright, let's see if each of them can hold the fish. Let's see how that goes before we move into our fishing.
Hey, do you people ash here?
No, they don't have shit.
Okay, they always buy from.
I brought this one from our school farm.
Quiet. Sorry. Do they have evening?
Yeah, they do have evening then event center and stuff.
So in the evening, before we can actually have barbecue.
Yes, but I don't know if they still do it every evening.
Or
I don't know if
weekends.
they do it every evening. Now look at this fish. Look. You see this? That's how you know the male fish. This is what we call the genital papilla. Let me hold it very well. This is what we call the genital papilla. What would I call it?
Push me away.
Calm down.
Let's see.
Space yourself.
You want to begin?
Space yourself.
Space yourself.
We are only.
Hey, give yourself space.
Don't be scared.
Give yourself space. Give yourself. Don't flog yourself. Let him see. Let him see it.
Hold it.
Don't worry. You will see whenever you're standing. No, it's not. You can see it's moving. It's not there. Hold it very well. Don't allow it.
Go inside water.
No. Don't worry. Don't bite you. See, we're already shaking. It does.
Sir, it's out of water.
No, catfish can breathe in dry oxygen.
Listen.
All right, listen. Somebody was asking, will it not die? Now, catfish have a means of breathing in dry oxygen. But inside the water, they breathe in dissolved oxygen. Yes, they breathe in dissolved
Jot
oxygen.
it down. Jot it down.
Let me have it. Dissolved oxygen.
Emmanuel, you should give me.
All right, let me go to the question of how catfish reproduce. Listen. Let me go to the question of how catfish reproduce.